So good day, everybody. We're here on the Oneida Reservation, Oneida, Wisconsin. It's Monday, May 4th, and we're doing our 9th Facebook Live segment. So we're practicing the social distancing. We have our masks, just so you know. Today we have Louise Cornelius, the Gaming General Manager, and Chad Foose, who is the CFO for gaming. We've been getting a lot of inquiries, people wondering when are we going to recover the casino, when are they going to open, what are they going to do. So I think that we must be getting pretty close to realizing that date. So we've invited them to be here today to talk about the recovery efforts and where we're at with that. We also know that people are wondering when the restrictions are going to lift. It will be up to the business committee to meet and have that discussion. Presently, our safer at home order is until May 12th. However, the business committee does have the authority and will be reviewing that to determine if they will extend that order. When they make those extensions, they also have the authority to lift certain restrictions like they have with the golf course. So there's a possibility that they may extend it, however, begin to lift and work in phases to begin recovery efforts on the Oneida Nation Reservation. They'll do that gradually in order to keep our community as safe as possible. So today I do have a brief medical update. In Oneida, we are up to 12 cases of the COVID. We have 9 in Brown County, and we have 3 in Outagamie County. At this point, we are experiencing no deaths in our community, so we can be thankful for that. Brown County currently is at 1,358 cases. Outagamie is at 68 cases. There are 6 deaths in Brown County and 2 in Outagamie County. Those statistics were as of 8 o'clock this morning. We also want to announce that the Brown County Health and Human Services with the De Pere Health Department and the Oneida Nation Health Department issued a news release that we are excited to offer the first community-wide testing to symptomatic individuals who live or work in Brown County. This is located at the Resch Center, and they're going to be working around the clock with state, local, and federal partners to make this site successful. Symptomatic individuals who live or work in Brown County must make an appointment through the link at the website. Here's the website. We'll also have it posted in our COVID page. It's www.stayhealthybc.com. That's stayhealthybc.com. There'll be also a call-in option to sign up for testing. They're also saying that these are the types of things you may be experiencing that would want to prompt you to go into those testing sites. If you have a fever, a subjective fever, for example, if a person feels unusually warm to the touch or reports sensations similar to previous experiences of a fever, cough, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, sore throat, headache, chills or rigors, muscle aches, or a new loss of taste or smell. So that's our medical update today. And with that, I'd like to ask our gaming general manager, Louise Cornelius, to give you her update. Good morning, Louise.
Good morning. Thank you, Bobby. And I would like to greet each and every one of you today and just share a little update on what's taking place with the Oneida Casino. We have been working extensively on a reopen plan for the past 4 weeks. And last week, Thursday, we completed a tour with our medical professionals. So our next step is to present to our government officials, which will take place this week. So that is the update on the reopen plan. So some of the questions or information that I'm going to share is that's been kind of asked or out there is how many employees will be called back. So our callback process will be done in a phased approach, and it will be based off employees to customer ratios. So as we move ahead, based on how much our customers are starting to visit back when we do open up our doors, we'll determine how many employees will be called back. The locations that we're looking at currently opening up is the Irene Moore Activity Center, Main Casino, and West Mason Street Casino. And we will be just opening up slots at this time when that date, when we get the date of approval on that. Our hours of operation, we're looking at our reopen plan would be from 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. And this would give us the opportunity from 4 in the morning to 8 a.m. to do that deep cleaning, sanitation that needs to happen on a daily basis. So that's what we're looking at. In terms of controlling the head counts and the limits, security has an app that they will be able to track the capacity limits due to the COVID social distancing recommendation. So at each location, there's a number of slot machines that will be able to carry a capacity for each location, and that they will track, just kind of like similar like when you go to Walmart, they track how many people are coming in and track the number of people going out through an app. So we'll be doing basically similar process. The callback process, is it done by voluntary? We will initiate a callback at a very minimal level, and this will adjust as customer demand and business volume data supports the increase in the workforce. Indian preference will be used in the callback process. It's one of the weighted components being considered during the callback process. Some areas have specific skill set for their areas that they will utilize. What's happening with some of the other tribes in the state of Wisconsin in terms of them opening up? Yes, I think eventually all the tribes will open up. I am familiar that Legendary Lake, I believe Legendary Waters up in Red Cliff had a posting for a May 1st opening. I'm not sure if they did. I think if you've watched the news, you see that Island Resort has been having a lot of commercials of them opening them up this Wednesday. So it's at each discretionary option of when the tribes will open up. It's within their own authority. In terms of has Oneida gone after stimulus funds, that would be a government function. However, we've been recording and tracking hours of employees who are working to record what hours are directly impacted because of the COVID-19. So maybe possible reimbursement in future stimulus. When will we be bringing other people back to work? Customer data and business volume is the answer. We cannot predict that everyone is feeling safe enough to return back to casino gaming. Are we eliminating positions and that possibility of not coming back to work? Some departments are currently assessing processes and some reorganization is being completed right now. The goal for gaming is to bring back employees. However, business needs during this pandemic have forced us to consider business needs for each position. We cannot guarantee all employees will be called back to work since we do not know what the next several months will bring with this pandemic. Some of the changes to job responsibilities were combined in the best interest of gaming, and yes, some jobs have changed to create internal efficiencies. And have we counseled with the Governor Evers about opening up? Any dialogue with the state of Wisconsin, Governor Evers would be within the authority of the Oneida Nation elected officials. Next will be the gaming CFO, Chad Foose. Thank you.
Good afternoon. We have a list of questions that we have been asked over the last couple of weeks, and we want to give a little bit more clarification as to why we would open and why we feel it's safe to open. One of the things that The first question is, what if we have a case that develops or is traced back to the casino? We have a staff of medical professionals that we work with daily, and they have a protocol that we will follow, and as part of our reopening plan, we've incorporated what that protocol looks like. So we're not going to take it upon ourselves to determine, what to do. We're going to seek the advice and the recommendations in the direction of our medical experts. Do we believe we're endangering the community with the threat of a COVID spread? I think a lot of individuals have been to their local grocery stores, to maybe some of the big box retailer stores that have been open. We believe our plan of reopening and sanitation and cleanliness is going to be superior to what you may have experienced. We put a lot of sanitizing protocols in place, a lot of continuous cleaning and sanitizing of all of our areas that will be touched by our customers as well as our employees. Why don't we wait a little bit longer to open was another question that has been posed over the last couple of weeks. After working on a plan for approximately 4 weeks and putting all of the logistics in place to be able to open, we feel that our plan will be conducive to hopefully our customers as well as our employees feeling that they're in a safe environment. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for our customers and our employees to make sure that they have cleanly and sanitizing stations, that as they walk into our properties that they're feeling safe, and our employees, which are our most valuable assets, we would never want to jeopardize their health, so we want to make sure that they feel safe also at all times. Why can't we wait? Why can't we wait for the curve to at least flatten or go downward? A lot of what you've heard over the news the last couple of days has been an increase in cases, and a lot of the increase in cases have been because of the increase in testing. So we believe with our protocols of cleanliness that we will be able to make people feel safe. And if you don't feel safe, we recommend that you don't visit our place of business at this time, as you would any other business that you want to feel safe at. What are we going to do if one of our employees gets sick and we haven't done anything, and we don't believe we've done everything possible to protect them? With the planning that we put in place, working directly with our medical professionals, we believe that the procedures and the sanitation that we put in place will protect our employees. Again, if an employee doesn't feel good, if they have some of the symptoms that were mentioned earlier, we encourage them to make themselves feel safe and stay healthy is the number one, first of all. Some of the tougher questions that we've been asked, is the physical health of the United Nations more important than the mortal health? No, we don't believe that our physical health is the most important. We believe your own personal health is the most important. And that's why we've gone such detailed planning with strict processes to reopen, with the help of our elected officials, with the help of our medical professionals, and seeking guidance from them continually and trying to meet the needs so everybody feels it's a good, safe opening plan. If couples come together and want to share a machine, will they be able to? Yes, at this point, but we are strictly going to enforce social distancing unless the family members are living in the same household. If it's questionable, we'll have our security department continuously walking around to remind individuals what the protocols are and to try to disperse anybody who's not following them, meaning either split them up, or if they don't want to follow what we expect, security will then simply ask them to maybe not join us until they can follow what our protocol is. Money is dirty. We all know money is dirty. Our thing that we have the most of in the casino when we're operating is currency, tickets, and money. And we've implemented many sanitation stations around the casino, so that anybody that's dealing with money can continually clean their hands. We are not going to clean the money, but we're going to practice good hand hygiene, and that's continually washing and sanitizing our hands routinely after we have interactions. With Brown County being a hotspot and having the fastest rising rate of possible cases, why open up? As I had mentioned before, the increase can be attributed to some of the major companies in our area. As anybody who's seen the media knows who those companies are. As testing becomes available, you will see an increase in positive cases. We must all do our part in following social distancing and staying healthy, and that being if we have any of the symptoms that were previously mentioned at the beginning of our message today, please practice the proper protocol and help isolate yourself from those symptoms reaching other people. Will we be offering food and beverage? What about alcohol? Alcohol definitely to people letting their defenses down. We are going to open initially as we prepare with more of a grab and go concept, meaning everything is sealed and boxed up for people to order food. We'll have social spacing so that anybody who wants to sit and have a bite to eat will feel safe that they're appropriately distanced from anybody else that also wants to sit down and eat. We are planning on opening up limited alcohol, meaning sealed alcohol beverages, and we are going to continually monitor as the alcohol piece of it. There's a better beverage service course that everybody needs to go through that serves alcohol. They will really have to monitor to make sure they're in compliance with that course and the safety of our customers at the same time. Some of the tougher questions: can you assure your employees the best possible protection? How can you do that? We have completed a very thorough review of our environmental safety plans for our employees and our customers. Our plans meet the requirements to be approved by our team of medical professionals and governmental officials. Proper training will take place upon the return of every single employee of what our expectations are and how we are going to help keep them safe. The only way to stop the spread is to stop contact with another. How are you not in agreement with becoming the next hotbed? It's imperative to put our workforce back to work and provide them with the opportunity to take care of their families, at the same time trying to balance how to keep them safe. Our main priority for the last 4 weeks was how to protect our employees and our customers and make them safe, and we feel we're at the point in the near future of being able to open up and share that experience with our customers that they've had accustomed to life. So with that, these were some of the harder questions that we've been asked over the last 4 weeks, and we just wanted to give a little bit of insight as to how we've been preparing. Thank you.
Okay, thanks Louise and thanks Chad. Questions are coming in pretty regularly here, trying to keep up with the questions. One of the questions, and you may have covered them, but the questions are still coming in and I'm trying to multitask here. So temperatures, will they be checked by employees and customers? Go ahead.
We currently have a process of where we are going to be checking temperatures. Every employee that comes into the facility will have their temperature checked. We'll work with our medical professionals to determine exactly what the threshold is to allow an employee into work based on their temperature. We are in the process of obtaining thermal readers to check our customers also, as we feel that they would want to know whether they're potentially have a fever or not. And for the safety of our employees, we want to know if they could potentially have a fever or not. So we are in the process of obtaining some of those thermal temperature units for our customers as well as our employees.
Okay, good, thank you. Also, plexiglass protection. Are you planning on putting plexiglass protection around the tables?
We're still researching that yet. We've looked at, we're receiving some samples this week. There's a vendor that's actually driving out here from Vegas to share some of the plexiglass opportunities that exist with that some casinos are considering of putting in. So I would say in the future there's a time frame of how you got to order that and a time frame of delivery. So we are seriously looking at installing something.
Okay, thank you. Will smoking be allowed?
Smoking initially will not be allowed. We are opening up with the non-smoking venues for each location, and that will, for the future, that will determine how we will introduce smoking back up along with the other tribes opening up, and we would align ourselves accordingly.
Will your employees be required to wear masks?
We have a tiered approach of how we are looking at it. There's 3 tiers that we have identified working with our health professionals. Tier 1 is mandatory employees wearing masks. Tier 2 is highly optional, and Tier 3 is optional. So we will have some employees that will be mandated to wear masks. We will have some employees who will be highly optional that we're strongly going to encourage to wear masks. And then we have some areas where there's a really low risk, meaning that they have a certain amount of space allocated to their work areas where they would not need to wear a mask, but we will actually recommend that they also do too. So our recommendation is that they have to, but the only ones that will be mandated are the people that will be in the mandated tier.
Okay, thank you. What about the restaurants? Will the restaurants be open, and how will you access food, and how is their protection process?
I think as we mentioned earlier, we're looking at it basically to open up with a grab and go. So that would be something like a prepackaged sandwich and maybe a cookie and chips, and providing that with our guests. We're not looking at preparing any food. I think the noodle bar would have maybe takeout orders, but pretty much it's going to be a grab and go opening at the opening.
All right. When you begin to recall employees back, will you be using seniority to bring them back if they're at the same level?
One of the things that we've really focused on is we need to determine the skill set that we need for a lot of our positions. So not only basing it off of skill set, we have in some of the matrices seniority, Indian preference, and skill set. So we are looking for the best combination of who we can bring back initially to meet the skill sets that we're strictly looking for.
Okay, thank you. What if somebody doesn't abide by the rules? They're not social distancing, they're not, whatever the rules are?
Well, we have security on board stationed all throughout the casino. So that is really their role and their function, that they will make sure that our guests as well as our employees that are adhering to the social distancing, the sanitation, and all those guidelines to protect each other.
How can cleaning the machines be done when there's so many people using them? What system will you have in place?
We have a couple different options that we're going to be utilizing. We have a dedicated team that'll be routinely cleaning the machines. We are going to be closed from 4 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the morning, and we will be doing a more in-depth cleaning, deep cleaning of each machine on a daily basis. And we'll also have security or any customers who feel that they want their machine cleaned beforehand to have more like an on-demand cleaning also. So we have routine cleaning, we have deep cleaning, and we'll have an on-demand cleaning to help protect our customers.
What about bingo? Can't you bring back bingo with social distancing?
Last week, the bingo director, along with the assistant general manager over the profit areas, have set up the bingo hall, has started to set up the bingo hall so they would have social distancing, looking at 4 per table and separating the tables. That's going to take some time to open up there a little bit because our clientele there is of an older generation, so we need to be careful with the social distancing and the introducing bingo back into the normal routine.
Okay. Do you have any idea of an opening date? What day do you expect to open? Is there the earliest or the latest you'd like to open? Is there? Everybody's listening very intently right now to hear when it's going to open. What are your options?
I think it's in our best interest not to lock us in a date because, of course, we have Governor Evers has May 26th out there as asking everyone to support that. However, the governor has expressed to our elected officials we do have sovereignty rights to, he has supported the rights of sovereignty the tribes do have. So what we have done is worked on our plan and we submitted it and we've gotten support by the professional health officials, and now we're looking at presenting this week to our government officials. So we haven't had that question and answer or haven't had that deliberation with our government officials. So they will be able to give us direction in terms of allowing us to tell us when when they will support the opening. We are proposing soon, I will say that.
So there's a potential that the business committee will take action and say, your plan is approved, you followed the process, you have the medical team to support you, you have all the controls in place. So management, it's up to you then. You just need that okay from the business committee, and then you're going to make the decision based upon all the environment and, certainly. So one of the other questions is, if there are cases that are identified coming out of there, is there potential it might close again?
Well, I think we gotta pay really close attention because they talk about a potential second wave coming around. So we really have to be careful in monitoring and making sure we're following all the 6-foot distancing practices, making sure all our health measures and sanitation measures are being followed. So, as much as we can enforce and make that happen, we don't have control of the COVID spreading, but we have to make sure we're practicing all the safety measures possible for our employees as well as our guests.
Another comment about the beverage stations. In the past, everybody's been able to go up and get their own beverage, and when you go to other places, convenience stores and such, all that communal beverage stations have been closed. So will you offer the opportunity to the beverage stations as well, or how will that be handled? Okay.
Initially, our self-serve beverage stations will not be open, but we are looking at different recommendations how we can still service our customers for the coffee and soda that we had offered through those beverage stations.
One of the avenues we're looking at in servicing is providing a table in front of there and having one of our own employees, customer service employees, fill the whether it's coffee or soda, and then the customer will pick up the beverage. So there's really no contact interaction.
All right. Well, I do apologize if I missed any of the questions. As we always do, we'll post the questions and the answers on our COVID webpage. And we want to thank everybody for your very respectful questions and the comments. There were a lot of comments that said they appreciate everything that you're doing. They appreciate all the hard work that you're going through to recover, to get this back open, and that you're taking the safety into consideration for everybody. So we got a lot of good questions of that nature, or good comments as well. We work to improve the community's communication here. We're really hoping that you get more out of this every time we do this. We try to not be too redundant in our communication. We get new viewers all the time that aren't familiar with all of our updates, so sometimes it may be redundant. We may repeat the information every week. One of our medical technicians just always remind you to wash your hands, to keep your social distance, to cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. And also we understand a lot of allergies are popping up right now, so those people that have allergies, it's really important that you keep that to yourself, cover your sneeze into your elbow. Our next Facebook Live will be Friday. We hope to have the finance team, the COVID finance team, which includes the Treasurer Trish King, CFO Larry Barton, Chief Counsel Joanne House, General Manager Debbie Thundercloud, Assistant CFO Rolinda Minham Lambries, and Chad Foose is also on that team, but he may sit that one out. He's been under the gun enough here today. So finally, we do want to thank you for the prayers. As I mentioned, we do have 12 active cases in the community, and there's been a lot of people on Facebook asking for prayers for the recovery of these individuals and giving thanks for those who have recovered in our community. So we want to encourage you to stay strong in your spirituality, to continue your prayers for the safe recovery of those who are currently fighting and those who have recovered. Y'all go.